Hello to the caregivers assisting our pioneers in the journey through cognitive decline. This is the third of the Nightingale Dementia Consultants briefings on the mind. I'm Brian Balke of Hypnosis Rising. In our last briefing, we looked into the basic mechanisms of the mind. The mind is our most sensitive organ, and if not cared for, will wear out. These insights are important not only for understanding the changes in your loved one, but also in helping you to protect you through the strain of caregiving. Today, we are going to step back to look at the development of personality. Modern society poses some unprecedented challenges on that journey. In surveying it, you will see how personal history affects our experience of caregiving. That can include challenges, but caregiving also presents opportunities for us on our journey toward maturity. The mind is complicated, so we'll use a circle to chart its development. If you imagine that the circle is someone's head, as the circle fills, each area corresponds to a part of the brain. The forehead is at the top, the base of the brain at the bottom. An infant's brain is simple, but the challenges we face after birth are enormous. We learn to interpret our senses, control our 630 muscles and 206 bones, and figure out how to motivate our parents to take care of us. Not an easy job. An infant's mind starts as a blank slate. Most of the time, a well-tended child is in contented homeostasis, the ideal state for learning. Every now and then, though, a threatening unknown interrupts the calm. This could be a dirty diaper or a loud noise. This activates the survival instinct in the most primitive part of the mind. The infant goes into fight, flight. Their heart pounds, breathing is agitated, and they cry for aid. This summons mother. The challenge is to restore calm. This is not automatic. It is a skill. After mother makes the threat go away, she holds her infant. Her slower breathing, soothing tone, and stroking guides the baby back toward happiness. As a toddler, we are able to make our own way around the world. Though still dependent upon our parents, we can act on our preferences. These are guided by the two basic emotions, euphoria and fear. Euphoria merges safety and excitement to lead us into discovery. That is allowed paradoxically when an anxious mother ensures that their child has everything that they need. The child doesn't worry as they bounce around the playground. In such children, the right brain is more active, and they enjoy sensational experiences. Fear focuses our attention on self-protection. This is familiar to children whose mothers take them into adult adventures. These children learn to anticipate danger, which is the domain of the left brain, and often enjoy quiet time by themselves. We tend to prefer experiences that lean toward euphoria, but in fact, balance is the best strategy. We know this as play, when we experience risk and reassurance at the same time. Our ability to maintain this balance is located in the higher thinking part of the brain. We get sent off to school about the time that we can describe our needs. At school, we are exposed to new choices. Some are comfortable, different clothes, food, and religions. Others are more challenging, languages, attitudes, and priorities. Some, such as the need to complete schoolwork on time, may compete with home life. This causes internal conflict. To ensure acceptance at home, the mind divides into two. The smaller part, the conscious mind, it becomes our social identity, our I. It gains experiences during the day. Beneath the social identity is the subconscious, which maintains all the behaviors essential to acceptance at home. Between is the critical mind that prevents new experiences at school from disrupting our home life. Those experiences are considered in the safe hours of sleep, during dreams, which is when the subconscious decides if it can adapt to the opportunities and risks presented by society. Most children at this stage of development with confidence in their ability to manage their behavior and well-being. When trouble comes, it comes from within. We hit puberty and the second major animal drive kicks in, sex. This upsets the internal balance built around survival. But as if that wasn't bad enough, desire arises from deep within the subconscious. The division of the mind makes it difficult to reconcile that drive with the expectations of society. We either suppress that need or find ourselves driven by passion to escape parental control. As we explore romance, we inevitably make mistakes. We are hurt and hurt others because we can only control ourselves. In our sorrow, we lose trust in ourselves. The division between the two realms, conscious and subconscious, often grows deeper and wider. This is the condition of our mind when we enter adulthood. Not quite ideal, is it? It would be nice if we had organized rites of passage to prepare us to pull ourselves back together. Instead, we have therapy. If you haven't been through this presentation before, this is probably new information and a little discouraging. But we shouldn't stop here. If our minds are divided, should we accept that, or should we hope to heal the division? This isn't a new question. Mystics throughout the world have struggled with this problem for at least 10,000 years. This slide organizes their wisdom around the picture of the mind presented thus far. In this picture of maturity, we negotiate with society using moral concepts. Virtues build social harmony. Vices dissolve it. Not all vices are bad. Sometimes we need to go off and be ourselves. In maintaining the balance between society and ourselves, we trust our body to bear witness to our well-being. We act with dignity, which is to say that we do not exploit our body. In the higher centers of the brain, we cultivate discernment regarding the opportunities presented by society. Where am I likely to end up, for example, if I accept an invitation to a private dinner with my best friend's spouse? We act with integrity, avoiding situations that will compromise our values. We naturally crave unity in the mind because in unity, life becomes far more vivid. But we can't get there alone. Our virtues create space for others to heal their minds, just as ours heals in the harbor of their virtues. Through that mutual acceptance and commitment, we gain confidence in our value and cultivate joy, perhaps for the first time in our lives. As you cycle back through the caregiver briefings, you may realize that the earlier ones follow from the vision promoted by that last slide. Exploiting our body, lack of dignity, is the primary predictor of cognitive decline. Integrity is the foundation of emotional harmony. Virtues and vices are what remains when we no longer work. But the most important insight in today's briefing came from the slide on youth. If our difficulties appear insurmountable, it is because often our minds are divided. In caregiving for someone that cannot do for themselves, we turn our focus outward, and that unity of focus allows us to practice restoring unity to ourselves.